Hello and welcome back to the Small Games Show. I recently logged into Which and noticed that a lot of the games had a theme that was not just indie horror. It was Game Jam season. Ludum Dare had been running and all of the games had the theme of delivery. I've never really interacted with game jams before. I've seen various ones from podcasts or little gaming communities that have run them and seen them play through them there. So I have an okay concept of how they are, but I haven't actually delved into what it looks like. So I picked out 10 of the more popular and better rated games on itch.io and picked out 3 of my favourite to talk about today. In Special Delivery, you control the world instead of any main character, meaning that you are manipulating the world around this box to be able to get it to its destination. There are 3 buttons to this game: space, which activates things in the world, and then left and right to be able to control these cranes that sporadically appear throughout. Each level provides a puzzle with these pieces in it, and you have to be able to use them to get the box to the other end, pressing space to activate levers, push pads, and even very cute throwing robots. There is occasionally a bit of wind pushing you along, making navigation a little harder, especially as everything interacts with each other as physics objects. It's one of those weird ones where I can't quite tell if the game is actually 2D or if it's been built in 3D and then limited to 2 to get these effects, but each interaction is smooth as the funky old school beat in the background. The pace that the game delivers new mechanics which all layer onto a puzzle jumble that uses previous rooms' experiences with the new is great. The very first room that the game loaded into did not have any instructions as what to do, instead giving you a brightly lit interactive pieces for you to fool around with until you get to the solution, and then the next room would add another component to that, slowly building and building to make a fun puzzle game. For such a small thing, the game is incredibly intuitive. To spice things up, we have these envelopes throughout that offer an additional collectible in the level to try and go for, having to properly understand and manipulate the mechanics to be able to collect them. They show this core design thing that I love, give the player a chance to demonstrate some small mastery, some understanding from the lessons taught up to this point. In the absolutely best possible way, it's like the new Super Mario Bros. Coins, each just waiting for you to figure out how to go for it. Such a cool game. It was about the stage of playing Parcel Punisher that I realised how much I love little micro games. I wouldn't be doing this on the channel if I didn't. They can do so much even with such a short development times. I sort of went into doing this video expecting to pull a story about how tricky game development is, which is no less true, but people doing Ludum Dare, well, they know how to put these things together. Now I know I'm playing the highest rated games here, but these are just such good examples of the form. Now to Parcel Punisher. Parcel Punisher is a smooth Hotline Miami style game where you, a hitman/delivery man, need to take out your targets and then deliver your parcel. Luckily, they are both found in the same area. You can throw your parcel, which will kill a guy and then last a few seconds on the floor before expiring, which if it happens, you fail. When you are parcelless, you can punch your foes to death, but make sure to pick up that parcel, don't want to be forgetting about it. Each time you do pick up the parcel, the expiration on it will reset, so you can throw it, grab it, and still have those few seconds to be able to recoup the parcel. The game has so much more in common with a puzzle game to my eyes, with the layout and formation of the enemies dictating how you need to approach each situation. But once you have that plan, once you've puzzled it out, well, it can all go south, meaning there's a decent amount of improvisation as well. Each level is in the sky, some with ledges that your parcel can be easily thrown off, so you have to be judicious with your throws. But you can't punch without throwing the parcel, so you do want it out there on the floor. There are just enough factors to consider amongst these well laid out levels that give a bit of friction to the player. Just enough thought goes in before you fling that first parcel at someone's head. Just enough planning building up to that moment. The other aspect I really like is the art style. This drawn on a line notepad style, characters looking like a scroll of a pen, lends itself to a simplistic daydream of some office worker in mind-numbing meetings. I think it lends itself well to the time stipulation also, not requiring some perfect artwork to express the frenetic energy of the levels. I've created this list on itch.io of games that have hit really hard, games that I think really exemplify micro games and what they can do. Ones that outside of cool mechanics, great style or unique perspective said something more, something that has great craft. Drone Delivery Despair was one of these games and I would highly recommend just playing it. But I'm going to try and talk about it with some level of depth, so skip this section if you'd like to play and experience this thing yourself. Drone Delivery Despair takes place in a city ravaged by a pandemic, held together by a delivery network of drones. You play as this drone through several years, each represented by one day. A time skip caused by some sort of error in the system means you only get glimpses of this crumbling society. Your objective is simple: pick up parcels and deliver them to people. A cloud of drones going about similar tasks accompany you in the sky. It's a very quiet game. Sometimes you are asked to pick up people's waste and take it to the incinerator. Very useful things, drones. Drone Delivery first lets you ruminate on this, creating a tone piece for you to exist in for a while. The black and white world is in front of you, the sky is filled with drones, and it brings you back to recently lived memories of the pandemic. You can see the trials and tribulations that are being had, without the game ever having to explicitly say anything. Years pass. As you go on, there are several critical failures in the network, failures in logistics that cause people to die, that cause more failures in logistics. The history is not yet fully set in stone with how we will talk about our pandemic, but whatever we went through, this city is having it worse. Societal collapse seems possible. It's hard to not think about the delivery in these moments. It's what keeps people connected in the modern world. I go and pick up a parcel and it seems different from previous parcels. A duck in a carrier. I deliver it. This is the first delivery that is going to a person, not just an unspecified landing pad. He's sitting on the roof waiting. He lets his duck out, and they just sit there and chill on the roof. It's such a sweet snapshot that is happening amongst the chaos of the rest of the city, one that's hard not to pull similar moments out of recently lived history also, something deeply personal in a time that is asking these people to be distinctly not personal. The world gets worse. At some stage the drones are gone. My drone, the only drone who survives. Protocol says that there's no delivery to do, you may as well continue the other thing you are programmed for: waste disposal. Not only the drones are gone, but everyone is dead. Societal collapse is complete. Your job becomes to take the bodies and dispose of them the same way, cleaning this haunted and forgotten city for who knows. They are cleared. The city is dead and immaculate. Time to clear out one last thing, the last drone. It's hard to say what explicitly the game is saying, if anything. I get much more of an emotional sense from it, a tone to move through, and, well, feel despair from. It understands that the longer, muted sections benefit the narrative moments to give you a sense of place, which then it of course completely erodes. With the pace being what it is, you cannot help but meditate on the text as you play through it. Take it all in and think about the implications of such historic moments. Good game. Coming away from Ludum Dare, this way feels imperfect in some ways. I'm sure there are plenty of great games I did not get to see. On the other hand, for anyone who's interested in the world of small games, go pick out 10 games from a recent game jam, like the 10 best rated ones, and go and play them, and the ones that you're really interested with, on itch.io you can hit this follow button, and when you are hitting this follow button you will then get updates from this developer, and it's just a really cool way to start building a page of people that you know and recognise and games that you're excited to play. And they're such small things that you can just play them one here and there during the day. It's great, and I think this is actually the perfect entry moment for other people. Thank you for watching this video. My name has been Billy. Peace.